All right, everybody, check it out. Now, I just saw some recent news about Vegeta possibly having either an Ultra Instinct or a new transformation, and it's apparently it's a hidden power. There was some fan, I don't know from where, but I didn't see a video on it. This was news that I read, and this is either the next upcoming episode or the next, the next arc or whatever. Now, I'm thinking what this guy is talking about is possibly Vegeta has a real true spike in power that's like maybe more powerful than Vegito or Gogeta. So in turn, that's gonna be more powerful than Goku. I mean, more powerful than Goku is now, even with Ultra Instinct. Or possibly Vegeta might have an Ultra Instinct of his own that's more powerful than Goku at full power, and on top of that, more powerful than him in Ultra Instinct form. Who knows? But if everybody knows that if Vegeta's pissed off, that his Ultra Instinct is likely to go way through the roof. So it's possible that Vegeta's already fast and powerful. Now, two, if Vegeta somehow accomplishes Ultra Instinct and is able to control it and uses it on Jiren, Jiren could be out of there. Like he's gone. And with that in play, then that would mean that the tournament of power is excuse me. The tournament of power is down to only a few contestants. And that would leave it down to the current fight of I can't even think of her name, and I just saw it. The fusion right now that's going against Goku. So that would mean that with Vegeta's new transformation, let's just say he's as strong as a fusion in this transformation. So that would mean that there will be Vegeta would have a power boost, and then he fused with Goku, and then with Vegeta's power boost and Goku being at whatever power level he's at, then that would make their power level skyrocket. And now whether it's Patara fusion or whether it's a different or whether it's Gogeta, that would make their power level, skyrocket, possibly even more powerful than what is it, Kafla? Um, anyway, that would make their power level more powerful than hers. Or maybe let's just say like just work with me here. Let's just say that instead of Goku continuing the fight, let's just say Vegeta stepped in and uh, let's just say he said, Kakarot, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, go chill. I'm not finna do Vegeta's voice this whole time. But let's just say Vegeta stepped in, told Goku to go take a break, and let's just say Vegeta whipped their ass. Who knows? But there's a very strong possibility. So if Vegeta powers up like this fans say that he's going to, I'm thinking one or two things is gonna happen. Either Vegeta is gonna get Ultra Instinct and then start whooping, like learn to control it and whoop everybody's ass, or Vegeta's finally gonna get Super Saiyan 3 and either learn to control it like Goku can, or learn to use it in blue form. Like he's gonna skyrocket it to blue form, which is something then Goku's gonna learn to do. And then if he doesn't get Super Saiyan 3, and then it's gonna skyrocket to Super Saiyan 4, which is going to force, and I've been telling people this for a long, long time, it's gonna force GT to become canon. And a lot of people like my dude self the programmer. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're thinking. You said GT is non-canon. A lot of y'all out there are saying GT is non-canon. When you think about a whole lot of stuff that's been going on in Super, and it went on in, I'm trying to think if it's Battle of the Gods or Resurrection F. Either way, it's forcing GT to be canon. Like it's connecting dots in between the two. This might be Dragon Ball Z that was Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, and now we're in Super. But still, looking at it, Pan is born, Beulah's born, Marin's born. All of those characters are in GT. Videl is they're in GT. Videl, Krillin, 18, 17, they're all in GT. Now, I won't lie, Krillin did grow hair back and he grew a mustache in GT, but and then Trunks, he got older. Uh, in GT, his hair got like dark purple again, but this time he was rich. So basically, it's like he took his mom's place or his grandpa's place, something like that. Regardless, he was, saying he was rich. He owned his own business, and saying when things got a little frustrating for Trunks, he just went flying to get himself, get things off his mind. But regardless, the point, and here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. I don't think I've ever said it in a video, but I'm thinking that like if this, if Super does become canon, I mean, does connect dots and becomes it pulls GT and Super together. I'm thinking like this, that maybe Goku and Vegeta got so strong to where they didn't need Whis anymore. They didn't need Beerus anymore. Beerus and Whis go back to where they came from. Beerus went to sleep. Whis does whatever he does. And Zeno, like he probably was about to destroy Universe 7 or started to at one point, and a hell of a lot of it got destroyed. But, Whis couldn't do anything about it. Well, I won't say Whis. Either Shenron couldn't do anything about it, or Whis tried to restore some of it, but it didn't do much. Now, moving on, like as you see in GT, like it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic future. That's why I say Zeno. And let's just say after Super, like they no longer needed Zeno. The only thing that they could really use was the Super Dragon Balls, and maybe after that point, it was just the little ones in GT, and that's it. They summon the huge version of Shenron. Now, and the reason I also say that GT is still canon with Super that a lot of people are not thinking about is that Mai, Pilaf, and I can never think of that fox's name. They're all, they're all still small, and they're all still, the same size as the same size that they are now. The thing is, Mai is old and wrinkled. The little fox is old and wrinkled. They're all, they're all the same size. They never got any bigger. But this time around, Goten grew up, Trunks grew up, and Goku is the only one that like went up against them, but they wish for Goku to be small again. So, and then when he goes Super Saiyan 4, I mean, he turns into a grown ass man again. But still, well, I think that was even before he went Super Saiyan 4. Anyway, like my point is this, like you got to start connecting dots. Like, yeah, there are plenty of people that'll argue this point, or there's things that you could take out, but like, oh, it's not canon because of this, it's not canon because of that. It's not canon because this transformation is not there. It's not canon because this didn't happen at this point, or this is supposed to be 10 years after this. Yub is in it, so like it's not, so it's not gonna be canon. Like, well, fuck that. Like, Akira Toriyama is a very, very tricky man, so it's very possible and very plausible that Akira Toriyama might say, well, you know what, I'll draw this in to connect this to GT, or I'll draw this storyline in, or I'll make it to where Zeno starts to destroy the wrong universe, and it's like, whoa, wait, we didn't lose. Like, that's our universe you're about to destroy. And it's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, my fault. There's nothing really I can do at this point. Like, maybe one of the angels can, but like, I can't. Like, at least not at this point, I can't. Like, when I start to destroy something, it's like destroyed. That's what the angels are for. They can revive it. Whis can only go back like 2 minutes in time to, to revive it. And he comes from, just like Goku and Vegeta and all of them, he's Universe 7's problem. So, uh, but he's part of the entire universe. So if he destroys something, like they're fucked. So maybe since they're alternate Xeno, maybe the alternate Xeno can reverse it. Who knows? Maybe I can make something better that, like maybe I can figure out something that I'm not thinking about. But like just stop and consider the situation, the possibilities before you just say, oh, GT's not canon, or Super's connected to Z but not quite to, GT. Like that you might as well be saying, that the original Thundercats and the new Thundercats aren't connected at all, which they're not. Like, not at all. The only thing that connects them to are the characters' names and pretty much what it's supposed to be about. And really, I've never even seen Mumra. Actually, to be honest, I've never owned the new Thundercats on DVD. The old one, yes, but the new one, no. Uh, and that's like saying that Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are not connected. The only thing that's connecting them is pretty much what the cartoon's supposed to be about. A card game with monsters. Matter of fact, I don't even know if Yu-Gi-Oh! GX does that. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters doesn't do that, though. That's literally dice. You know what I'm saying? You gambling with dice. But there are monsters, just like in the regular Yu-Gi-Oh! So one is cards, one is dice, and then it goes back to cards again. But the cards, in, like, I think the third part is it has to do with the Pharaoh discovering his past, like, for real, for real. But it all falls under Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like, the Dungeon Dice Monsters, like, if you put it in the correct order, it would be like, because the whole time, like, Yugi is still trying to help Pharaoh discover his past. It's going to be like Yu-Gi-Oh! And then the part where Yugi helps Pharaoh discover his past, then Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. So really, that's the same thing with Dragon Ball Super. It's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, then it will be Dragon Ball Super, then Dragon Ball GT. That's what it's supposed to be. But that's not quite what went down. And it's the same thing with a lot of movies that are created, like the Underworld series. It's supposed to be Underworld, actually Underworld Rise of the Lycans, I'm sorry. Underworld Rise of the Lycans, then the original Underworld, then Underworld Evolution, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's basically, that's the original three. Like, don't even worry about the rest of them. So it's supposed to be Underworld Rise of the Lycans because that's what kicked everything off. Because when Celine had her visions in the very first movie, the very original Underworld, that's what, like, kicked you back to the Rise of the Lycans. So you look at Rise of the Lycans first, then you look at the original, then you look at Evolution, you know what I'm saying? Then you look at the last two. You know what I'm saying? That's where the story comes, that's where everything comes to an end at, is the last two. And that's the same thing with Super. Because, like, right now we're looking at everything sort of out of order. Like, GT came before it was supposed to. So it could be non-canon, could be canon. There might be a way to connect the dots, or it might be a way to, to where it'll end up, instead of being Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super, it'll end up Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball GT. So, like I said, who knows? But before you just get the judgmental, you know what I'm saying? Before you get judgmental and just feel like, oh, this is not canon, toss this out the window. It still got a lot of the same characters, but toss it out the window anyway because it's not canon. Take it out the stores, take it out the shelves. If you got it at home, throw it out the window, throw it in, your dumpster and let it get dumped and taken to the big trash dump. No. Like, keep it at home. Find out, see if there's a way that it becomes canon later in Super before Super ends. And then if it does be, you know what I'm saying, if it does become canon, then you'll be like, oh, I seen this, like, or something relative to this in Super. Like, Like, why was I saying it was non-canon the whole time? And they're like, oh yeah, because you're a dumbass. That's why. Now, I'm not calling anybody dumbass out there. I'm just saying, like just think before you act. Think before you say non-canon, non-canon, non-canon. Like, you might be wrong. Consider the fact that you might be wrong. Like, consider the fact that you said that Goku would get killed by Frieza before the first round of the tournament. Well, I won't say the first round, but before you said, you know what I'm saying, like, they'd even make it to the second round of the tournament of power. He didn't get killed. He got attacked once, and that was before, they even got really, really started with the tournament of power. But did he kill him? No. Did he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do much to Goku. He thought about it. He made plans to do other things, but he didn't kill Goku. You know what I'm saying? They sparred, and they both, fell into the water or something like that. And that was before they even made it to the tournament of power. He hit Goku in the stomach, but that was before they even sparred. So, like, just think before you act. Yes, like, Frieza is one of those people that are just like, you can't really trust that character, but he's like, yeah, he's a little deviant type person. But if Goku was nice enough to lend him energy back on Namek, and let alone wish him back to life for a tournament and not on somebody else's team for his team, then you gotta think, like, maybe this dude is decent after all. I'm not saying Frieza is decent. I'm saying look at it from Frieza's perspective. Like, maybe this dude is pretty decent. He could have left me dead. Like, he's killed me basically twice. Like, the spirit bomb could have killed me, but it didn't. Now his Saiyan friend killed me. It wasn't Goku that killed him. So, and what I mean by Saiyan friend, for those who know, is Trunks. So it's like, he killed him once, and then Trunks killed him. And it's, well, he may have died a third time. I just can't think of who it was that killed him. But regardless, the point is, like, he's been brought back and killed several times. And most of the times that he's been killed has been by Goku. So if you stop and think about it, and Goku was willing to bring him back to life for his team for the tournament of power, and that's like one of the strongest opponents he's ever faced, he could have brought back anybody, like Kid Buu, Cell, Super Buu, just anybody from the past. But of all people that he could have brought back, he brought back Frieza. So if he brought back Frieza and was nice enough to even do that, because they needed a final member, and he couldn't use a guide, so he couldn't use Beerus, and he couldn't use Whis, because actually Whis, Beerus is so crazy, he probably would have killed everybody from every other, universe. Like, literally killed them with, like, one, like, literally one attack. So, like, and everybody else wouldn't have needed to be there. Or if he didn't kill him, he probably would have knocked him out the arena. So, really, that was, that kind of would have been cheating right there. Not exactly cheating, but, so regardless, he needed a 10th member. So, just, next time, just think. Please, that's all I'm asking you. Next time, just think what the possibilities are, what's going to happen, or just do like I do. Just watch and find out, like, okay, so this goes back to this right here. This connects to this right here. Like, we were all calling Goku's new transformation, what the hell was that? We called it something else, but they ended up calling it Ultra Instinct. We called it Limit Breaker. Which, technically, yes, it is a Limit Breaker, but Akira Toriyama ended up calling it Ultra Instinct in the end. So now we know that it's, Ultra Instinct, that the name of it is Ultra Instinct, but it was called Limit Breaker before then. So just, just stop and think. It's like, okay, so now we know it's not Ultra Instinct, just like we know that, like, there's a picture of a Super Saiyan 5, but we know Super Saiyan 5 is non-existent. unless Akira Toriyama decides to keep drawing and keep animating and actually make Dragon Ball AF exist beyond GT, then we know that there will be no Super Saiyan 5. Man, so basically, like, my point is just like, think of what's there, think of what's possible, think of what we know exists, and think of what dots make a line, and what dots could lead to making another line, making another hook, and pulling in something else to connect what's already there. And you'll figure it out. Just wait and find out what's on the next. It's like, just like when they say, find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Just that right there. Just when that dude does that right there, it gets you excited for the next episode, right? Well, just as that gets you excited for the next episode, then wait for the next episode. I get it. YouTube is great for, making your own predictions of what's going to happen. Like, if they say Namex explosion, Goku's in, right? Namek exploded, but Goku did not die. Everybody said Goku died. You thought Goku died, right? No, he just got blasted so hard it sent him to another planet. And so he was training his ass off. So, no, Goku wasn't dead. Like, he was just, like they said, training on another planet somewhere. Like, because they even wanted to bring him back by using Shinron. No, it wasn't Shinron, it was Purunga. And what did Purunga say? Like, they wanted to bring him back. And Purunga responded exactly like this. Silence! It can't be done. The one called Goku refuses to return and says he'll come back later. That's exactly what Shinron said. No, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting there's two dragons. But that's exactly what Purunga said in the Namek Saga when they tried to wish Goku back. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But that's exactly what he said. Meaning that, like, before you just count somebody down and out, before you count a saga or episode down and out, wait for the surprises. Wait to see what happens when it happens. Like, I should just call this video Wait and See. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it Wait and See. Anyway, I'm out.